Chapter 8. Improving Performance with Feedback, Rewards, and Positive Reinforcement. Our opening vignette describes how T-Mobile USA has used performance feedback to improve organizational performance. Upon completing your reading of Chapter 8, you should be able to specify the basic functions of feedback. You should be able to define different types of feedback, such as upward and 360-degree, and summarize the tips for giving good feedback. You should be able to distinguish between extrinsic and intrinsic rewards and provide specific examples of each. You should also be able to summarize the research about pay for performance, explain the law of effect, and demonstrate your knowledge of Skinner's concepts of positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, punishment, and extinction. We begin with job performance. Job performance can be improved through goal setting, feedback and coaching, and rewards and positive reinforcement. Situational factors such as the qualities of the individuals in play and the larger work groups, or even the organization as a whole, set the stage for improvement, and the outcomes can be measured in terms of effort, growth, satisfaction, and performance. One method of improving performance is to provide feedback. Feedback is objective information about individual or collective performance that is shared with those who are in a position to improve upon the current level of performance. Sometimes, feedback fails to produce the desired results. Feedback failure can often be traced to inappropriate use, including using feedback to punish, embarrass, and put employees down. If the feedback is not relevant to the work that people are doing, it will be ineffective. Feedback can also fail if the people receiving it believe that it relates to matters beyond their control. If the feedback is too complex or difficult to understand, it will also not have the desired effect. However, feedback, when properly given, can improve and strengthen performance. Feedback serves two important functions. First, feedback is instructional. It clarifies or teaches new behaviors. And second, it is motivational, serving as a reward or promise of reward. The more timely and specific the feedback, the more effective it can be. Feedback is designed to have an impact on behavior. The behavioral outcomes of feedback include the direction of the behavior, the individual effort involved, the persistence of the effort or behavior, and resistance to impediments or change. To increase the probability that feedback will have a positive impact on performance, managers need to relate feedback to existing performance goals, provide feedback to specific performance and measurable results. Channel the feedback towards key results areas and be sure that the feedback is given as soon as possible. Feedback can be powerful in improving organizational performance when positive feedback is given for improvement, not only for final results. Feedback can be powerful in improving organizational performance when positive feedback is given for improvement, not only for final results. Feedback must focus on performance, personality, and must be based on accurate and credible information. Feedback can come from a variety of sources, not all within the control of management or the organization. For example, feedback can come from others, broadly defined, the task through experience, and even from oneself. In addition to conventional or traditional types of feedback, non-traditional feedback is also used in many organizations. These newer forms of feedback include upward feedback, where employees evaluate their superiors, and 360-degree feedback, where feedback comes from superiors, subordinates, oneself, and peers. Research evidence on upward and 360-degree feedback favors anonymity and discourages its use for pay and promotion decisions. The introduction of advanced computer network technology that facilitates broader multiple rater systems has increased the popularity of non-traditional feedback processes such as those outlined here. We began our discussion of upward feedback on the previous slide. Upward feedback can be threatening to managerial employees. Some managers resist upward feedback programs because they perceive it as eroding their traditional authority. Anonymous upward feedback may, if not properly managed, become little more than a personality contest. We now come to the issue of rewards. There are three key factors in organizational reward systems. These factors include the types of rewards used, such as financial rewards, the criteria developed to distribute the rewards, for example, results, and the desired outcomes of the system, such as retaining employees or attracting new employees. In this context, there are two broad categories of rewards: extrinsic rewards and intrinsic rewards. Extrinsic rewards are those that are typically financial or material, whereas intrinsic rewards are those that are self-generated or psychic. Approaches for extrinsic reward systems include pay-for-performance systems. Pay-for-performance includes monetary incentives tied to one's results or accomplishments. Even the best-laid plans or distribution criteria may fail. Some of the reasons why extrinsic rewards fail to motivate include too much emphasis on monetary rewards, the lack of a feeling of appreciation associated with the reward, that extensive use of benefits can become entitlements, that counterproductive behavior is being rewarded, or that too long a delay is allowed between the desired performance and rewards. Other reasons why rewards fail to motivate performance include a tendency to try a one-size-fits-all reward system without recognizing individual or organizational uniqueness, or that rewards are used as one-shot events that have little impact. Further, if an organization uses demotivating practices such as layoffs, across-the-board raises, and pay cuts, or excessive executive compensation, reward systems may not be effective. Rewards and the management thereof form the foundation of conditioning. The focus of behavior modification in organizations is on operant behavior, championed by B.F. Skinner. In this paradigm, the types of consequences that can be used to strengthen behavior include positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. Positive reinforcement increases the frequency of behavior by presenting something positive after the behavior is exhibited. Negative reinforcement leads behavior to occur more often by removing something negative that follows from the behavior. Other contingent consequences for operant conditioning of behavior include punishment and extinction. With punishment, the goal is to decrease the frequency of behavior by presenting something negative or withdrawing something positive. Extinction reduces the frequency of behavior, often by ignoring it. Reinforcement must be applied according to schedules to have the most impact on behavior. This approach is referred to as schedules of reinforcement. Continuous reinforcement means that every time the behavior occurs, it is reinforced. Intermittent reinforcement follows some instances, but not all instances of behavior. There are different ways that intermittent reinforcement can be applied. These include fixed ratio, variable ratio, fixed interval, and variable interval schedules. Shaping is also a method of reinforcement. Shaping behavior refers to reinforcing closer and closer approximations to a target behavior. To effectively shape behavior, managers should define what behavior patterns are appropriate, give individuals feedback on that performance, reinforce the behavior as quickly as possible, and use powerful reinforcement to cement the behavior. Initially, managers should use a continuous reinforcement schedule to increase the behavior patterns and then move to an intermittent schedule to maintain the behavior. All rewards should be contingent on performance, and managers should never take good performance for granted. This concludes the lecture on Chapter 8. Apply the concepts that you've learned in the end-of-chapter materials, such as the ethical dilemma. You have 20 minutes to surf the web. Go! And take a practice quiz on the Online Learning Center, www.mhhe.com/KINICKIOB4E.